Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking, and today I wanted to do a review of the Grav3yardgirl crossover palette with Tarte. So I was super excited when I originally found out that this palette came out. I got it as soon as I could, and it came very fast. So here we go. Let's just dive right into it. So here we have the main box. It is the Grav3yardgirl Swamp Queen palette with our little alligator. On the back of the box you have a picture of Grav3yardgirl with her little description, as well as all of the ingredients listed for you in case you have any allergies to talc or anything. I didn't read it. Yeah, it does have talc in it, so it does list it for you, so you can, I don't know, you probably won't be able to see that. Anyway, let's get into the main palette itself. Here we go. The palette with a lovely wood grain feel, the gold foil lettering across it, and once again we have our alligator with the wings. Back of the palette, once again just that lovely feeling. And then on the inside you're going to open it up and be greeted with a nice big mirror. You can see my setup, which is kind of embarrassing, but oh well. So here we go. We have 9 different eyeshadow shades, as well as a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter. So let's get right into it. Here we have, this is Dog Man, and then we have Natural Peaches, and then we have hashtag SFS, which is Swamp Family Strong. Here we have Big Baby. Here we have Sassy Bun. Here we have Sippy Sippy, which also has these big gold flecks in it. And here we have Haunting, and then we have Uncommon, and over here we have Man Cat. So out of these we have Natural Peaches, Man Cat, and Big Baby are all matte colors. The ones that have sparkles in it are pretty much every other color. Every other color does have some form of sparkle or shimmer to it. These two I would say are more of a shimmer, as well as Haunting. Haunting is also a nice shimmer color. We have Sippy Sippy and Dog Man, which do have bigger gold flecks in them. They do have bigger glitter, so be aware of that. And then over here we have the bronzer, which is Sweet Tea, and then we have Does This Thing Really Work, and then we have Gator Wings. So these are all the colors. Gator Wings is a highlighter, and it does have really big flecks on the inside of it. Does This Thing Really Work also has gold flecks on the inside, but it is a nice soft pink color. Once again, Sweet Tea, gold flecks. This whole thing is riddled with gold flecks. Sweet Tea does have gold flecks as well. There we go. Move that over. Alright, it also does come with this brush, which is a lovely fluffy brush. You can see it here. And it has that wood grain texture on the base as well. So it feels kind of like bamboo almost. That's what it looks like. This palette is very pretty. It is a very nice starting palette because you get everything that you need in it. You get your bronzer, your highlighter, your blush. You get all of these different, very blendable, very workable eyeshadows. With that being said, here on the top of the mirror you will also see a message from Bunny to us, which is very sweet and personal. It says, "Believe in yourself, love yourself, embrace your individuality." So that is a lovely touch, and I love that it has a big mirror. Like, she didn't put a bunch of designs in it. She knew what was important to us. So she put a big mirror on the inside, which I really appreciate. With that being said, let's get into the actual review. So I'll go ahead and insert a video of the swatches that I did right now. Okay, so so here we go. These are the swatches. From the top right, or I'm sorry, the top left, we have Man Cat. All right, that deep purple, and then in the middle we have Sassy Bun. you can vaguely see the Sassy Bun glitter fallout mess that's going on. Oh, Sassy Bun, how I want to love you. Oh, I'm sorry, not Sassy Bun. This is Sippy Sippy. Then we have Dogman. I love this color, Dogman. Right here is supposed to be Natural Peaches, but it is so close to my actual skin tone that you can't distinguish the difference. And then here we have Sassy Bun right here. This lovely golden color. And then this middle one on the left is Uncommon. So it's once again going off of that sparkly, but it's also with the shade of purple, so it's very pretty. It has pink and purple flecks in it, whereas Sassy Bun has like a gold fleck inside. And then down here we have Haunting, which also has pink and silver flecks on the inside, but also a purple tone. Right here is Big Baby. Once again, you can't see it. I tried to pack it on as much as I could so you could see it, but you can't. Big Baby is there somewhere in the middle. And then last but not least, we have hashtag SFS, Swamp Family Strong, which is also going on that gold tone. So you will see that. I am an olive tone, so it's really hard to see some of these show up on my hand or on my skin. Granted, this is without any primer on, but I just wanted to do my best to give you what you would see on your own face if you didn't have any primer on, which, you know, some people won't. So, especially in olive skin tones. So with you, if you go with Natural Peaches with my particular skin tone, it is a very nice transition shade, and I like to use Big Baby under my eyebrows. So those are just the ways that I use those when they don't really show up. But as you can see, the rest of them are very pigmented. So the swatches, I did include a little bit of information about how I felt about some of the particular ones. I only swatched the eyeshadows in that video. That was without any primer. So you were seeing it as you would put it on your eyelids normally. How I would expect a lot of people to go ahead and do that. I know there are a lot of beginners that are still out there, a lot of people that don't have primer, so or even, you know, specific eyeshadow primer. I don't have that. I just use my regular primer on my lids and I call it a day because I don't have money for that. I have some things to say about it. Please don't hate me. It is a very frustrating palette to use. The reason being is that when you look at Sippy Sippy, has these giant gold flakes on the inside. Mancat has it. Anything that has these big flakes. Gator Wings has not gold flecks, but it does have big flecks on the inside as well. Does this thing really work? And the Sweet Tea, they all have the gold flecks on the inside. And they're actually pretty big. When you apply these to your face, the fallout is unreal. There's fallout everywhere. Even just doing what I did earlier, I have it all over my shirt. I have it all over my desk. It's fallout galore. While I won't say anything bad about the actual colors, I love the colors. I want them to work really bad. The fallout is just one of those irritations that I have where, especially with Sippy Sippy, the brown with the big gold flecks in it, it would be such a nice over like the middle of the lid to have and have those stand out, but they don't. They're gonna fall out, they're gonna go on vacation. Any of these gold flakes and any of these colors are gonna, you know, form a heavy metal band and they're gonna just go on tour somewhere else. It'll probably be all over your clothes. It'll probably be all over your makeup desk, wherever you want it to, and definitely all over your cheeks. These things are going to go on tour and they're going to leave you behind. So don't expect these flakes to actually stay in there. They won't. They're going away. So it is a little frustrating. Another big thing that I have is with the bronzer in particular. So let me go ahead and swatch that for you. I'm going to pick it up, get my brush, and very, very lightly dust over it. So here we're dusting, and we got our color. So you see that there's a substantial amount of color on there. And when you put it on, you can, because that's how you normally put on a bronzer. You're just gonna kind of very quickly put it on. You can already see the problem that I have with this. While it doesn't look that bad in person, and I know a lot of people will use a lot of this. Go ahead. It's splotchy. I mean, there's not a whole lot we can do about it, but it's very splotchy. You're gonna try to blend it out more, and you still have a streak. So you still see the streak there. While for some people it's not bad, for me it's awful. It's terrible. I don't like the fact that it does that, because when you put it on your cheek, it leaves that streak. So you can't really dust it out. You can't blend it up. You can't blend it out. You can't do anything with it. So what you end up having to do is taking your beauty sponge, and you have to pat it to try to blend it, or to try at least pick up some of that pigment that was on there. And you saw how lightly I dusted it in there, and even though I went over it with it twice, it's a splotchy mess. So you definitely have to be very careful when you use this bronzer, because it will do that. It will stick and not go anywhere. And that's purely because of the pigmentation I feel. Maybe it could be a lot of external things. It could be my brushes. It could be how I apply it. I try to do what everyone else does, where I just, put it on, and I expect it to be able to work with my foundation and work with everything else, and I'd be able to, blend it up, and it doesn't want to do any of that. It doesn't want to, it's very stubborn, I find. The blush works just fine. It's that natural, very light pink color, so that one doesn't have a problem going on. It does need to be layered, because when you first put it on there, it doesn't like to show up, so you have to kind of apply it until you see what you want. I'm already pretty naturally red, so even though my primer is the green NYX primer, the color correcting one, while I put it on, it does take away a lot of the redness that I already have. So, and then I put my foundation on, and it looks pretty even at that time. So when I put the blush on, you can't see too much of it, so you have to just kind of, put it on a little bit more. The highlighter, however, does have those big flecks that Sippy Sippy has as well, and it's fallout, first of all, so you will get a lot of fallout, but it is such a pretty highlighter. It is, let's go with the finger. It is a really, really pretty highlighter. It's just silver based color with white. It is a very gorgeous highlighter, but I wish that Tarte did not put all of these giant flecks on the inside, because they go everywhere. There's no turning back. Once they're there, they're gone. It's the weirdest thing. Like I've never experienced like eyeshadows or anything that have this kind of problem, where when you put it on, it just fall out everywhere, first of all, and then second of all, you have the problem with the glitter, so you have glitter all over your face, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So for this particular palette, I love it. It is extremely pigmented, so you have to be very careful with how you apply it. So when you're doing the eyeshadow, with especially the matte colors, you have to be careful how you apply it, because you want to definitely dust it on instead of putting it on, like pushing it on. You don't want to push it on first. You definitely kind of want to dust it on, and hopefully that will ease a lot of the splotchy problems that you get, because with the eyeshadows and with the bronzer, you will have to blend it and blend it and blend it and blend it until you get exactly what you're looking for. So I don't feel like, for someone who really loves makeup, for someone who uses a lot of different high name brands, I don't feel like this is the palette for them. This is definitely a palette that would be more suited towards beginner. Well, even saying that it's suited for beginners kind of isn't true, because they do have to know how to work with it. So it's a very special palette that I think would be probably better for beginners, would be better for younger age groups. It would be better for people who have either the lighter brown to even a darker brown. You would probably be able to get away with a lot of the colors. So if you're a black woman, you could probably get away with some of the pigmentations that didn't show up on my particular skin, such as Big Baby and Natural Peaches. So we have Natural Peaches and Big Baby right here. They are two of the matte colors that come in it. They don't show up on my skin. I'm an olive skinned person and they don't show up. So I'll have to try to find to use those in different ways than I would if you were like a black person. Then they would probably show up a lot better, even though you'd have to layer it a little bit. So you could probably definitely get those to work for you. But then you have the lighter skinned people, which I don't think those would really show up on either. Big Baby would probably be a very skin tone color for the ladies that have the lighter skin tones, or even the men that have the lighter skin tones. Those would definitely be suited for them to do as a transitional color, whereas Natural Peaches on a lighter skin tone would probably have a lot more pigmentation. So if you have that very like pale alabaster type skin, or even if you have cool undertones, the Natural Peaches will definitely show up a lot better on you than they did on me. As you can see with the video clip that I put in of the swatches, where'd they go? We don't know. I don't know. So they're not there. Other than that, the final thoughts that I have on this would be, if you do use a lot of the higher end makeups, I don't think this palette would be for you. I definitely think that this palette was geared towards people of a younger age, or definitely people that are starting out, as it does have everything that you need: the bronzer, highlighter, blush, and then all the shadows, which are various colors to suit different skin types and to get different types of looks. So while the two frustrations that I have are the fallout and the giant glitter disappearing, other than that, I do love the palette. The workability is a little on the tough side, but if you're willing to work with it, if you're willing to have that kind of struggle, and if you're willing to, you know, take the time and blend it out, then it can definitely work for you. It just, you know, it takes time and it takes a lot of practice, I feel. So I feel like the more that you put the oil into it, the more that you put your brush into it, the more that the palette ages and, you know, has the time that it needs, and the uses that it really takes, it could be a fabulous palette. It really could be. Another factor that may be compromising my particular palette is because I live in the desert. I live in a very dry climate, so that could be a huge factor as to why it is very dusty, especially if it came from a warehouse that was in a more humid area. I know the humidity probably does help it stick a lot better, and probably helps it a lot better than it does being in a dry climate. So I am definitely going to factor that in to my particular palette. For other people, it may be completely different, especially if you live along the equator, or if you live, you know, in those humid areas. That could be a completely different change for you than what is going on for me. So definitely take that into account, because if your palette is working just fine for you, then maybe it is what it is, and it's just where I live that is affecting all of these factors. So I do love the palette. I don't want to say that this is anything bad against Grav3yardgirl. God knows I adore her. That's why I bought the palette. I wanted to support her and, you know, help her achieve her dream, and I also wanted to be part of this amazing thing that happened. So I do only have the palette. I know she also released the 2 lip colors, or the lip paints. I do not have those. There's one in, I believe it's called Swamp Family Red, and then there's another one that is Texas Toast. I really love the Texas Toast color. However, I just haven't gotten around to buying it because I've been purchasing other things. Like, I do have a new thing that hopefully I'll be able to do a review on, because my lighting situation is not set up for me to put makeup on camera for you, so that's why I'm not going to do it. But I do want to review what I'm about to get and I do want to do a video with it. I'm so excited to get this thing. I'm so excited. But once it comes in the mail, I'll test it out for you once, twice, and then we'll go ahead and talk about how I feel about what I received, just like I did with this one. I used it first just so I could have a very unbiased opinion and not just be like, oh, well, this is the first time I'm using it and everything is awful. So I definitely don't want that. I did try to work with it once, twice, and then even a little bit of a third time. I think the third time I didn't use the bronzer. I just ended up using the eyes, and it was fine. Like I said, the workability is still a little hard, but overall it was fine. So with that being wrapped up, I will also link where you can get this palette if it is still for sale. So you can also get one if you are interested in it. If not, then, you know, I just wanted to let you know my particular thoughts. Alright, and that is the end of the video. So if you go ahead, leave a like down below, if you leave a comment down below letting me know what you think, if you have any ideas, or if you want me to do anything or review anything, I will be more than willing to do that. Also, I do want to exclude that this is not a makeup only channel. I will also be putting out other videos. I just haven't gone around to doing it yet. So go ahead and leave any comments of anything that you want to see me do down below. And then when you subscribe, we can start getting Chester some new dance lessons because he's terrible on the dance floor. Alright, have a good day everyone. Bye.